We're joined here by Charlie and Amanda Jackson, who have a new record coming out, I believe, this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yes, Saturday.
So the king and queen of Dayton country, Charlie and Amanda Jackson. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So let me go ahead and jump right into it. I have been listening to the record. First of all, it's pretty darn good. But secondly, I think what's great about it, and you're probably going to hear this a lot, is how it connects to that old school country feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those classic duets. So was it a natural thing for you guys to put out a record together?
I think it was. We've sung at home together for years. I mean, it was getting her in front of other people that was the real struggle. But, I mean, don't let the fact that this is the first record fool you. She's been singing with me while I played guitar for, a decade and a half.
Well, and I'm really curious. We've seen several shows where Amanda's come up and sang with you. And so the reluctance, is it like kind of bearing that part of yourself that's difficult, Amanda, showing, that part of your musical interest?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that I could keep tone well enough when I was growing up, but I never thought that I was a good singer. I knew one of my best friends is a really accomplished singer, and she's really good. And my sister's a pretty good singer, and I just never thought that I was very good. And I was worried about being pitchy and not coming in at the right parts because I don't know how to count music at all. I know nothing about that. I don't play any instruments. So I was just really worried about doing good.
So you weren't somebody who has been wanting to break into the music industry your entire life?
No, I started doing plays when I was in the 4th grade. I always was drawn to acting and movies and everything. So, and we were very much a movie family when I was growing up. So you kind of get the music from Charlie and the movies from me within our family. But he pushed me into the music a little more, but it was not something that I originally ever wanted to do or thought I would do. But
so I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, what was that like as you start to sing together? Because whenever I've seen the two of you sing together, it seems perfectly natural. It flows organically. That's not always been the case?
No, it probably has. I mean, Charlie and I have known each other for 21 years, and it's easier when he's up there with me. With acting, I was always playing a role. It was never myself up there, if that makes sense. So it was different, and I didn't like that attention on me. Even when we got married, I said, I don't want to do this just because I don't want to walk down the aisle and have all those people looking at me. So with Charlie, but on stage, when Charlie's there, it makes it easier for me. I think it was always just easy.
Yeah, she really took to it like a duck to water.
Well, and what was that like? So, Charlie, you're as much a songwriter, I would argue, as a singer and a guitarist. So, are you naturally bouncing ideas off Amanda as you're working on songs, or how does that work?
I do. I would actually put those three in exactly that order. I'm songwriter, then singer, then guitarist. So,
got it right.
but no, I always bounce unfinished songs off of her and try to get her input, and especially on songs when she's going to be singing, I try to get her to help me out with the words and the phrasing and make sure I get everything right that she's going to be singing, because it's supposed to represent how she feels and things like that. So she's always heard my unfinished songs. So she's told me what's good and what's not.
What hasn't been?
A lot.
Well, I'm also curious to know, so a lot of the songs on the record revolve around everyday life, right? They revolve around family. They revolve around all of the challenges that all of us in almost any relationship are going to experience at one time or another. Was that intentional?
To a point, I think probably. I don't think it wasn't the the goal that we set at the beginning of it for the songwriting. It just kind of, those are the songs that I ended up writing, and they all just kind of fit together right, and just felt natural and felt cohesive. And
Yeah, because Bare Feet was originally just a solo song that Charlie was going to sing, and then he found a way to break that up into the way that we sing it, with trading verses, lines back and forth, which was a lot of fun. And then the other side of Fine was
that song's
over 10 years old.
Oh my!
Yeah, it was written a long time ago, and I looked at it and I said, if we change the pronouns and just say this instead of this, I said we can actually make this a duet. So I changed everything in there and turned that into a duet for us.
Well, I'm also curious, what was it like in the studio? Amanda, you were talking earlier that you don't like all the attention.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in the studio, everybody's listening to what you're doing. Was that hard for you?
No, because it was only Charlie and Patrick. There was we did the first 2 days was vocals.
Yeah, rhythm guitar and vocals. And luckily we got everything done within that 2-day time period, which was really good and more than I really expected.
Yeah. When we did it, actually, Charlie and I were facing each other when we were singing. So we had to make sure that we were both doing well. So, because if one of us messed up, then we had to do the whole thing over. But yeah, it was just Charlie in the room with me, and then Patrick in the sound booth.
So would you describe the record as a country sounding record?
I would.
Yeah, I mean, more country than
rock or pop.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you
kind of like a classic country Americana kind of vibe to it.
It's kind of funny that you say that, though, because a while back our daughter was sitting in the room with us, and she was talking about music, and she said, "Oh, I hate country." I was like, "Thanks a lot." And she was like, "What? You guys don't sing country?"
Like,
yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's nothing like the savage criticism of our children to bring us back down to earth.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a really great song, and then your child walks past you. Is it? Been there more times than I care to count. And I still will fight my daughter on what the Best Replacements record is. It's not All Shook Down. It's Tim and Let It Be as sort of one record. But okay, I feel like at this point we're talking about me, not about you.
All right, but sidebar, I do agree that Tim is the Best Replacements record.
Clearly, Charlie, you've got my back. You're totally simpatico. Amanda, I'm keeping my eye on you.
I don't think I've ever heard a Replacements song.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys are breaking up. This cannot stand. No. In all seriousness, I mean, there's a country feel to the record, in my opinion, but it's not, an easy category. It's not what some people call the bro country or the pop country right. It's right. More classic country to me. So you guys would agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we were trying to go with the art too, the photography and the
layout of the record.
Just kind of funny. It was. Yeah. It turned out more serious than Charlie wanted it, but he still likes it.
I intended it to be real campy, like a Conway Twitty, Loretta Lynn kind of album cover. It ended up not being quite as funny as I'd hoped, but it looks really, really good. Looks really classy. So I really like it the way it turned out.
And the layout was, obviously Jennifer Taylor took the amazing photos, but Charlie put the whole layout together. It was all him.
Yeah, I taught myself how to use Photoshop as I went along.
As do many of us, my friend. Then you come back to it later like, okay, oh, golly, I forgot how to.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, you would need a 70s leisure suit with some
Yeah.
rhinestone accompaniment there. I remember, if I'm thinking of the right picture, I mean, in a lot of the pictures, you've got the cowboy hat on,
Right.
and Amanda has the flowing, kind of classic dress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you're mostly there when you think of some of those shots. Those pictures. But I'm also wondering, you work with Patrick Himes at Real Love Studio.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like you actually cranked out the record relatively quickly. Is that true?
Yeah, we did it in about 4 sessions,
Mm-hmm.
which was a lot faster than I really ever would have expected.
That's incredibly fast.
Yeah, it honestly, because the guitar, the rhythm guitar and the vocals went so fast, and I don't know what was in the water that day, but it was just, it was so perfect. It just like we used the entire time, 8-hour session, so 16 hours. We used the entire time, but it went so smoothly. And then obviously Brian and Casey and Matt are amazing musicians, and Dan Abbott, so they were able to just go in there and do what they do wonderfully for the rest of the album. Once we actually got comfortable with the songs, it came together really fast.
Well, Patrick Himes is terrific at capturing, helping musicians and bands capture an authentic, organic sound.
Oh yeah.
What do you think Patrick's his contributions were on this record? What did he help bring out in the King and Queen of Dayton Country?
You said you wanted to. He said he wanted to record with Patrick definitely this album because it was more of a country sound. He knew that Patrick could get that.
Yeah, he had that, like, he just has that knack of like running everything through, and even though we didn't record to tape, it still got that real warm sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
He made everything just chime together so beautifully. And
he used microphones that worked with our voices, and the way he set them up, it just was it was really good. And like I remember Brian did a whole song, and then he went out there and he had moved the microphones around and had him do one more, and just that alone was made a difference. And so he definitely knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite on the new record?
Do you?
You do.
Uh-oh, I do not mean to drive more barriers between you.
No, my favorite's probably Masochistic Heart, just because that one is just like, it's just such a monster. I laid like 4 extra rhythm guitar tracks on that one, just so it was. I used Patrick's. He's got this gold top Les Paul that's heavy as a tree trunk, and it's just got such amazing tone to it. And David had me lay like 4 rhythm guitar tracks laying over top of each other with that guitar just over and over again, just to give it a real thick, meaty sound. And I just love the way that one. I love the way it sounds.
That's mine too.
That's yours.
It's definitely the rock of the album, and the lines are so amazing. They're just, and I will tell anybody who listens, Charlie completely blows me out of the water with that song, with his vocals, but it's okay because they're so good.
Well, it's interesting you should say that. Charlie, are there any of Amanda's vocals that blow you out of the water on the record?
Pretty much all of them. I love the way her voice sounds with this music. She's got this natural vibrato in her voice that to really sing out, you can really hear it. I think her voice just complements mine so well, and it sounds just so great with these songs.
And Call This Home was the first single, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there an order or a plan for multiple singles in addition to Call This Home?
We also released 2 Ships as the second single off of it. I don't think we're going to release anything else as a single. I mean, the whole thing comes out on Saturday, so we'll let whoever listens to it decide what their own personal singles are.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, what would you think will stand out for people? Like if you were to hear your record for the first time, what stands out for you both?
The harmonies for me. Like, I think the way our harmonies work together and the way our vocals, the way Patrick just knitted our vocals together so well, I think that really is the standout.
The harmonies were mostly Charlie. There might be a few of mine in there, but he's really good at doing harmonies, and he says they're a lot of fun too. So those are mostly his, but he does them great.
Well, and they sound terrific. It is interesting, though, that you mentioned Masochistic Heart does seem to be more of the rocker on the record.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm curious then if maybe in future records, the two of you together would see yourselves moving away from country, Americana, and in a more rock direction.
That's kind of funny you should mention that too, because I think a lot of the songs that we've already started working. We have like 15 songs, I think.
Probably more than that.
That we've, and most of them are old songs. There's only like 2 that are newer. But I think, I mean, there are a few Americana songs on there, but I think there's one that's kind of got a soul sound to it, and then there's another one that's kind of a rocker.
Yeah, I mean.
So I mean, I think the next album is just going to be kind of a cornucopia. Yeah.
Now the release show is this Saturday at the Yellow Cab Tavern.
Yes.
And I have to say that for my money, they're doing it right. Social distancing, they've got a whole mask process.
Yep.
Tables are spread out. So I know some people might be nervous or apprehensive about going to a rock and roll show, but it's a rock and roll show that's set outside with appropriate social distancing.
Yes.
Right.
That had to be really important to the two of you, not just in terms of releasing your record now, but also, as folks in a family.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So tell me about how the show came together at Yellow Cab.
Well, we'd actually booked the date at Yellow Cab before all this, before the world, exploded.
We did it in June.
So, so we knew that was where we wanted to have it even before all this.
Sure.
As things started to open back up little by little, we knew that Yellow Cab was the only place that we really felt comfortable going forward with it.
Yep.
That if they weren't going to, host it for us, then we were just going to do it live stream on on Facebook, because there wasn't anywhere else that we really felt could handle the show appropriately enough.
Yeah.
For what we were trying to do.
We got a hold of everybody that we could. We got a hold of Mark and 10 High, and we were like, okay, so we're still planning on doing this. What are the stipulations in place? What do we have to do to make this happen? What do you require of us? And and we were just hoping that DeWine didn't shut us down again. And so far, so good. And but even like 10 High was saying that they could probably fit about 200 people within the whole lot, comfortably, social distance. And I don't expect anywhere near that many people to come, especially in that social climate. So the fact that he said that amount of people, I was like, well, then this is definitely something that we can do where a lot of people can come and hopefully feel comfortable and safe.
And will you have merchandise at the show?
We do.
Yes.
We have, we've actually gotten stickers and buttons and t-shirts in addition to the CDs.
Yeah. We have 3 sticker designs, 2 pin designs, and 1 t-shirt design.
And the t-shirt design, is your daughter designed that? Is that true?
Yes.
Yep.
She drew that on her iPod with her finger. And
not fair. Not fair.
Yeah. Charlie told her exactly what he wanted. He said, I think this would be a cool idea. And she said, okay. And so she went to her iPod and she got it done in like 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay. And we put it through and it became a t-shirt.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, as someone who wishes he had those kind of skills.
Right.
Right.
Although
Yeah.
it's nice to have something like that in house.
Yeah. But it was also fun because it was a way to bring, the family into it too. So that was nice.
Not that that creates any expectations for future T-shirt designs. That other family members may have to
Oh, yeah,
design other T-shirts.
Oh yeah, I've told the boys, you got to step up your game.
little healthy sibling rivalry there. That's awesome. If somebody can't or just doesn't feel safe coming out to the show on Saturday, how else can they get a copy of the record?
We have it available on our Bandcamp page.
Yep, we have physical copies and downloads.
Yep, it's Bandcamp. What is it? Charlie-Amanda.bandcamp.com. It's also, there's a link onto our page from the Magnaphone Records page also.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose you?
I think it paused. Oh.
Oh, nope, it's over. It says it's still recording.
Hmm.
He's the one that started the recording.